Continuing those partnerships.
Keep going.
No, that's good. So we just wanted to express our appreciation for the partnership with Paola and the city. As you already know, Comcast is building its fiber-rich network to provide gigabyte speeds throughout the city. And many of you have probably seen some of our construction crews starting to work in the right of way. However, we have encountered a few delays, which can happen when entering a new city, but we're working through them with city officials, and our goal is to make construction complete early next year. I want to let you know that due to the construction complaints or constraints here in the city, we're currently about 10 miles behind schedule, and that's approximately 2 months of our goal. In your handouts, you'll see some information on Comcast. There's a couple of maps in there I just want to bring your attention to. The first one shows some blue lines where we have constructed since April. The second one adds some red lines that we conservatively estimate that we would have been able to construct by now without those constraints. So at this time, we have one crew working at a time at about 1,000 feet a day. And we understand some of those constraints. That means though that we've lost 3 crew or approximately 18 construction team members that were working in the city. These do have a business impact concern that I want to bring to your attention. We have and continue to work with the city about potentially additional resources that could assist. We understand that it can be a little overwhelming to undertake such large infrastructure projects, and we appreciate the strain that that infrastructure can pose to a city. But again, we are looking forward to continued conversations on what we can do to continue to fulfill that commitment to serve every home and every business throughout the city and have that complete by the second quarter of 2025. You know, although construction is never easy, we do want to make sure that we're meeting those commitments before resources get allocated elsewhere throughout our system. And we want to continue to partner with the city on that. Our commitment to you is to always have an easy and open and adaptable conversation and be accessible throughout this process. You'll see that when you get construction door hangers, they're orange, they have a local construction number. Should any of your city constituents have questions about construction or concern, there's a local number on there. Certainly myself and Jennifer are available. You'll also see a number of mailings that will happen. An Xfinity is coming mailer, Xfinity is available. We have a website you'll see in your packet that shows the expansion website with a lot of frequently asked questions that might help address concerns or questions. Our number one goal when coming to a new community is to be a member of that community. We're not going to build and come in and leave. We're planning and anticipate being a partner for a long time to come and being available to you. Thank you again for your time and your commitment. And if you have any questions, we're always available. All right. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Anyone else have any public comments other than agenda items? Is it something on the agenda? You can come speak. Please state your name and address for the minutes.
Thanks, Patrick Lindholm. I live at 203 West Piankashaw Street. Lived here for about 25 years. And my concern is city services, which I'm sure there's many other people in the city that are concerned about this. I understand you have a big project going on, but I personally have been trying to get a pile of trash removed from my alley over the last 2 years now. Now, I understand that with the new gentleman in charge that he sent out a certified letter, and I have no idea. I do not know the status of that right now, but over the past 2 years, I mean, it's a pile of trash with animals living in it, weeds growing out of it. I mean, this is not something new. That is one issue that I want to address in my neighborhood. Another one is I put in a request for the curb and gutter to be repaired outside in front of my house. Now it's on the opposite side of the street, but that's where we have to park. And frankly, I'm getting tired of tripping and stumbling every time either my wife or I are exiting our vehicle. Now, I just, the extension of city services, you know, our taxes keep going up. And I haven't seen the sweeper around in our part of town. I haven't even seen the sweeper out. Now, I don't know if it's working, not working, but you know, every time I cut my grass, I have to blow all the debris from my side of the curb out in the street. Well, that looks pretty nasty, but I'm getting tired of stumbling over it. So I think something should be done about that. So that is basically why I'm here today. You know, and it's not just myself. I mean, there's plenty of other people now. A big project, I understand this. But, you know, there's a lot of individuals that are trying to get stuff done. And I'm hearing, well, we're short manpower, short staffed. It's not the budget, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, I'm still paying my taxes. So I want to bring that up and
Thank you, and we'll check into it and somebody will follow up if you needed. Thank you.
Hey, Beth, could you give me your address again, please?
203 West Piankashaw.
203, thanks, thank you.
We were going east, west,
West, thank you.
Anyone else?
How are you? My name is Dan Jakes. I live in 1216 Cottonwood Court. I received a letter of a tax increase. We just purchased a property about 3-4 months ago.
Is this budget related?
I mean, I don't know if I'm in the right place, but they said tonight it was.
Well, we're having a budget hearing in just a little bit and you can speak on the budget then, if that's
Oh,
okay.
great.
This is just for stuff not on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay. You're in the right place though. Anybody else? Okay. All right. First, we have the public hearing to exceed the revenue neutral rate. Can I get a motion to open the public hearing?
I move to open the public hearing regarding the revenue neutral rate.
I'll second that motion, Mayor.
And
Aye.
Case, Shields.
aye. Motion passed. Is this one this would be related to that or the actual budget?
Yeah, I was gonna say a little.
Okay, go ahead.
So the city of Paola received the revenue neutral rate of 39.943 mils from the county clerk. Staff prepared a budget according to anticipated revenues and expenditures and determined the needed mill levy to be 42.059, which will exceed the revenue neutral rate provided. On July 9th, the council set the revenue neutral rate public hearing and budget public hearing for September 10th and approved a notification to the county clerk to exceed. The county clerk was notified prior to the July 20th deadline. The hearing notice was published in the Miami County Republic newspaper on August 21st and the City of Paola website on August 28th. If after the hearing, the governing body still intends to exceed the revenue neutral rate, a resolution must be passed to that effect. If the resolution is approved, then the 2025 budget public hearing can be held.
Now you are in the. I should have just let you stay up there. Can you state your name again for us, please?
Dan Jakes.
Okay.
Okay, 1216 Cottonwood Court. And, you know, I don't usually get the letter that they're having a hearing, but I figured I'd come down and see. You know, I thought my taxes were a little bit high because it's only a 2-bedroom, you know, 2-bed townhouse at 4,000. Now it's gonna go up to more. So between my unit and the unit next door, it's like $8,800, you know, in taxes. So we only pay $250, it's being appraised like $277 or. You know,
So just trying to understand.
we're trying to
how,
understand.
you know.
How it works.
Right,
All right. We're getting ready to go through the budget also.
Okay.
But this is, we're getting ready to vote on So revenue neutral rate is, the city would only bring in the same amount of money that we brought in last year.
Right.
To exceed that means we would bring in more. So that's what this is about.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's.
But your concerns have been noted.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, well, it's confusing because where we're from in Long Island, when a house is purchased at 250, the taxes,
250.
you know,
Mhm.
You know,
so now it's
Yeah, you pay
it's
based
so
on
much
appraisal.
higher than, like, it's appraised at.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
But tax debt, that's what I possibly mean.
it is okay, Mayor.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Uh, Thanks for moving Paola
Yes.
first.
we have
Thank
like
you.
our grandkids, you know,
We'll boil self down to, everything's kind of derived from state law, and I got the same sheet that you got
okay.
right here. And, the county appraises, not the city, but the county appraises, which a property is. They got their own system and everything else like that. So even though you brought it for 250, their appraisal process. Now, if you believe your appraisal process is too high, they have the ability to go over there and you talk to the appraisal department and they'll be able to work with you on that. It's too late now, but there'll be another appraiser. When you take a look at this sheet right there, and this is actually a pretty good sheet, and there's a laundry list on there.
Right.
And if you go down through there, it really breaks it down to who you pay to. It's got the state, county. Then you get down to Paola right there. And the 4,500 of what you pay, and like with mine, mine's appraised, I think at 4 something.
Right,
I'm 1696.83. So that's my 2003 tax. Then you just laundry list across it, and what we have done, we have raised it, and mine raised $87.41. So you should be able to go down to that bottom part right
oh,
there,
yes, yes,
and it shows all zeros, except there's one over there.
67.
67, $4,
Yeah. So since we're going over the revenue neutral, we have to have this hearing according to state statute. You get this letter, tells you to show up down here, but also shows you how much we here at the city, we don't have anything to do with anybody else.
right,
So your taxes went up for your city services, you were 67 and change.
Right.
So the purposes of this hearing is, like the mayor said, is you'll be able to come in and ask questions. You'll be able to come in there and say, hey, I just seen you not raise it, just a multitude of things
right,
that you can do. Hopefully I did a decent job explaining that.
Thank you,
yes.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you,
You're welcome.
Thank you for coming down.
thank you.
I have a question. Did you receive that letter from the county because we went over revenue
You
neutral?
get it anyway. Yeah, they're required to mail it out
Okay.
every year.
If it would have been 0, there would have been no revenue neutral here.
Yeah.
But it still would have, we still
still
all
got
would
that
have got the
letter.
mailing.
Like I said, this is all state statutes and state.
Anybody else for the revenue neutral?
I am Karen Fian, and you will be able to hear me because I taught at the state hospital, so I'm used to talking over children who are very loud.
Karen, can we get your address real quick?
Oh, sure,
please?
502 South East Street, and boy, I sure wish somebody'd knock on my door and sit down with me. I thought it was the right meeting because I get this notice, and I want to tell you, I bought my home in 2004. So that's 20 years I've been a resident in Paola. I'm a retired school teacher. I did have a husband, God bless him, he died in '89, and he left me 2 children to raise. I don't have a lot of spare change. I came here because I thought this was the place to say, help, what are we doing to our residents who are on fixed incomes? And am I in the wrong place? This isn't the city's issue, this is the county.
Well, we deal with our own city tax, so there's multiple people at play here. Appraisals, we don't appraise the homes.
Who appraised my home? It's
The county.
They just walked by or they knocked on the door? How do you? I tell you what, if you guys want me to move out of Paola, fine, just send me a letter and say I'm no longer welcome. And I will somehow get rid of the house and I'll move down to Garnett where it's cheaper. This is ridiculous. And now that I've come, and I've had my eyes dilated today, I can't read names or anything. I haven't come to the right meeting?
No, you're at the right meeting.
You're at the right meeting, but we don't handle the appraisals themselves. So if you have a question about the appraisal,
I have a question about the whole situation. How much money extra and above board, what did you do with it? What services do I now receive that I didn't receive a year ago? What's coming next? This is a really scary place to be. I admit, you are looking at my entire family. If I have a family reunion, it'll be in a phone booth and it'll be me. I have nobody to go to. I have nobody to say, what should I do? Where should I go? I am totally, I'm bumfuzzled. I don't know what's going on or why. Why the house, my house payment was $600 a month. We're not talking Mission Hills here, guys. $600 a month. And it would have been over $900 a month if I did not come up with money for catching up on equity. I can't do it. So what does the city council recommend here?
if you have a problem with your appraisal,
I have a problem with the whole.
and our part has been,
What services do I have with this increased taxes? Who is out there that you can say, hey, I need to come in and sit down with this person and have somebody explain to me what's going on? I mean, it was like I had been, carjacked when I got my, taxes. And nobody that I know did anything but walk by my house that sits exactly as it said in 2004.
I would say that your next step would be to call Miami County. Tell them that you have not made improvements in 20 years, and hopefully, I know the appraisal timeline for this year has gone past. But hopefully they can look into it a little deeper.
And is this stuff that you should just know because you're an adult citizen?
Maybe you don't know this stuff, but maybe just ask questions and find out who to call to find out.
And I call the county?
For the appraisal, yes.
They appraise the whole county, not just Paola. It's
And
everybody,
Miami County.
yes.
And because they appraise everyone, they're not gonna go in every single house. So if there's,
Well, you know,
but
I drive a, my God, I think it's a 2002 Ford miniature truck. It's paid for. I can afford my taxes, kind of. You know, I could just walk by and appraise everybody's vehicle. Sounds like an easy job. I'm sorry if I sound disagreeable, because normally I'm not, but I'm really scared. In case you want to know how the elderly in your community are feeling right now, it's threatened. And I was amazed when I came and I saw the empty parking lot. I was a little bit late. I thought, well, I won't be able to park in the parking lot. I guess we're just all sheep, you know? My money that was been taxed by Miami County has, by the way, already been taxed. When I earned it, when I put it in Social Security, when I take it out of Social Security. And then if anything happens that I can't handle this, then it's not my house. Miami County, I guess, will take it and sell it on the courthouse. So no matter how hard you work, no matter how long you work, no matter how hard you tried to raise good citizens, it's never your house. Thank you for listening.
thank you. Anyone else? Don't see anybody. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing, please?
I move to close the public hearing.
I'll second
McMahon,
it. Aye.
Case. Aye. Shields.
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Now we consider resolution number 2024-007 exceeding the revenue neutral rate.
I'll make a motion, to exceed the revenue neutral rate for the 2025 budget. Mayor.
I second.
McMahon,
Aye.
Case. Aye. Shields.
Aye. All right, motion passed. Public hearing for the proposed 2025 Paola City budget. I know staff worked very hard on this. Okay. Did anything?
Motion.
Oh, yes, sorry. Motion to open the public hearing regarding the 2025 budget.
No,
You may know, I will make the motion.
There we go.
Open the public hearing regarding the budget.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yeah. McMahon,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye. I always forget there's two.
No, you're fine.
All right, do we have anybody that wants to speak on the specific 2025 budget that's proposed? Guys have anything? All right, I don't see anybody that wants to speak on it, so we'll go with a motion to close the public hearing.
I move to close the public hearing.
Second that.
McMahon,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
All right, motion passed. Now, consider adoption of the 2025 Paola City budget.
Yes, so just a little bit of a brief overview. If anyone would like a very brief budget summary, we have some printed out by the agenda if you want to grab on your way out. But so as part of the adoption, the total expenditures that the council has come up with is $17,022,007. In 2024, the mills was 39.943. And the proposed 2025 rate goes up by 0.165 mils to 42.059.
And the mill last year was 41 point
Yes.
something.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was a revenue neutral.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry, my bad. But we're increasing by 0.165 mils. In the budget summary, you can see the tax breakdown for the mill funds. The biggest increase on that would be the general fund, which is not even 1%. So everything went up just a little bit. We didn't do a whole bunch in one. I do believe council's priorities was to keep employees. So we did that. We tried to make some increases that would accommodate inflation to try to attract and most likely, hopefully retain our employees because we are having to compete with everyone else as well. But like I said, other than that, we had really no huge increases this year.
Anybody have any comments or questions, concerns?
I kind of wish the lady would have stayed here, but, she decided to go home. I've been at this business for 38 years and there hasn't been very few years in that 38 years that the state of Kansas did not come up with a local budget, rules for us to follow. And, they change about every two to 3 years. And this last one is the latest rendition of it and probably one of the better ones that there is. And it allows for certain things to happen that I think are good for the council and also good for the residents. And I'm glad that you brought your sheet up here today. I really am. That sheet does a good job and it should go out every year. And it shows you what Paola did. And it shows that my Paola taxes went up $87.41. It shows where the other ones are at. It shows your school districts, shows the state, the county, and it shows everything like this. A part of this that I like a lot is it shows an interrelationship between what the city does and the county does and the state does and everybody does. County's got a county to run, we got a city to run, school district got a school district run. But cumulative, when you put it together, that's when you see these $300 or $400 increases, which really is not only hard on the elderly people, but it's hard on people that have families. It really is. So it goes in there and it does a lot. It really does. Another thing in here that I think gets forgotten a little bit, this is a pass or fail. Either make it or you don't. You're either revenue neutral or you're not. 2 years ago, the budget that you just presented, prior to this, would have been a super budget. We didn't hardly raise everything, and I think all total, it was $189,000. Don't get too used to this. 2 to 3 years, you'll see another thing in here. That's just the nature of the beast that the state does. But for today, I appreciate everybody that came in and done it. I like this sheet. The council looks at 189,000, which is a 0.01 something mills. Another thing you also realize is with the city is that we do a lot of things. When you call the police, they show up. The majority of your property tax goes to pay the police. That's just the way that these things are structured. You turn on your water, you get clean water, and you get that. You flush your stool, do whatever you do, and then it goes to, and is it properly done? But the way that it's set up, it's really personnel heavy on the property tax, number one, and it probably goes towards our law enforcement. And probably at the end of the day, I think everybody in here is gonna support law enforcement. And if it's a little bit more money, it's just a little bit more money. Now, that being said, if we decided to go revenue neutral in 2026 budget, you'd kind of start that January 1st. You don't start it and talk about it on September 10th. You talk about it. And then that allows city staff to come in and say, you know what, if that's what you want, council, this is what it's gonna look like. And then the next time that if we want to go revenue neutral, there's no hearing and there's no nothing with that. But this is actually pretty good when it's all said and done. It explains things. I can understand it being a Rubik's Cube for people. I always told everybody, government's not so much complex as it is confusing. You know, because if I can deal with dealing for 38 years and I struggle with it at times, I feel bad for somebody coming in from Long Island and saying, hey, I want to take a look at it. So that's my opinion on it, and I'll get off my soapbox with it. But for this year, for this budget, it actually came about where I thought it should have been.
I will say, I know every year staff keeps revenue neutral in their minds. And basically, this year, if we wanted to stay revenue neutral, we were probably gonna have to lose employees. And none of us were willing to do that, so they've done a good job, staff and department heads, of trying to trim their budget. Everybody wears a lot of different hats to make this happen and stay as close as we do, so I appreciate all the work on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that. I mean, stuff's expensive, supplies are expensive, materials have gone up, everything's gone up. We're trying to compete with other municipalities and other counties that are able to pay more because they have more revenue coming in. You know, kudos, city staff. I mean, Kurt, Mitch, I mean, these guys are working their tails off, and you know, we didn't miss it by much, but you know, I don't think anybody's in a position to say, well, we don't need those 3 extra police officers keeping us safe. You know, we've got a gentleman upset because he's got stuff going on that he would like to be worked on. Well, you lose 4 or 5 city workers because of a budget that we can't balance, you know, then all of a sudden it's really not gonna happen. So, you know, we're doing really well. I mean, I'm sorry that it turned this way, but I'm not surprised.
To be this close to the metro is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's wonderful to be close to the metro, but then you're trying to compete with people that can pay a lot more money, so I think everybody's gotten pretty creative how to do that, so I do appreciate it.
Well, and revenue neutral for in the future, and I know people wrote the bill and everything else like that. And to make revenue neutral work, a service has got to go away. Then the next year, another service goes away. And a lot of people are like, well, you can do this and do that, make it work. I've been doing this for a long time. Something that you do, you decide not to do it anymore. And that's the end of the story. You can't sit there and water everything down. It's just gotta stop. And that's where the council comes in, and that's where we talk to our constituents, and that's where we look for, hey, is this a priority for you? If it's not, guess we won't do it anymore. So, Leanne, I'm sorry, I didn't step on your toes.
That's fine. I think the staff has done an excellent job in putting this all together, and I feel for, older people who live in their homes, and I wish the state would come forth with where you reach a certain age and they can't raise your property taxes after that point. But then I look at these young people that are paying for groceries and all the costs they have, and they're suffering too, so, but I do think that the staff has gone over this, and I feel very comfortable in what you have done. So, that's it.
Any other comments?
No, thank you.
If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the 2025 Paola City budget with the amount of 17,022,007 pursuant to the notice budget hearing published in the Miami County Republic and authorized necessary signatures. How much of that is property tax? 3,004,000.
38%. 38%.
I don't have my paper.
I think it's
I think-
1%.
Yeah, I
Yes.
thought it was about like that. So that 17,022,022 is not all property taxes, some percentage of it is. So
Is there a second?
I'll second.
McMahon,
I,
Hayes,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Motion passed. All right. Now we have a council election.
are they all still here? After all that?
I think so. Okay, so
Now's the time to vote.
I'm gonna do some housekeeping that might be, hopefully everyone's awake by the time I'm done reading through this. I just think it's important to know how this is gonna work. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
So for clarity for council, for the applicants, and for the public, I'm just gonna read through a few housekeeping things to know what the process is and why we do it that way. So Ward 3 council seat became vacant after Kathy Peckman resigned. Residents were notified by an ad in the paper, Facebook, and the City of Paola website. Interested qualified electors of Ward 3 were asked to submit a letter stating their qualifications for serving on the council, prior experience, and why they believe they should be selected. There are also, let's see, residents in that ward were asked to submit their letter to the city clerk's office by 4 p.m. on September 4th. If they would like to fill the seat for the remainder of the term. And a council election will be held this evening to fill the vacant seat. And we received 5 total letters. And then I'll read a summary of our city code. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. All vacancies occurring in the office of city council shall be filled by an election held among the remaining members of the city council. And such election must be held at the next regular meeting of the governing body or a special meeting called for the purpose of filling such vacancy. The vacancy must be elected by a majority of the remaining council members. Should the remaining council members fail to elect a successor after being polled 3 times by the mayor, then the mayor shall appoint a qualified person from the ward in which said vacancy exists to fill such an expired term. In the event that any person so elected should refuse, fail, or neglect to qualify for such office by taking or subscribing to his or her oath for a period of 10 days following such election or appointment, then and in the event, the mayor of the city shall forthwith appoint another qualified person to fill such vacancy. So the 10-day timeline is part of the reason why we asked you all to be here, because we don't have another meeting until October, so. And we try to reserve our special meetings for emergency situations. So the summary, the council is free to nominate any qualified candidate. We have the 5 individuals that have expressed interest. I believe 4 of them are here. Any council member can make a motion to nominate an individual. If the motion receives a second and the majority approves, then that nominee is elected. The new council member will take their oath of office and join the council. So the procedures are being followed per the city code 1-207 that I just summarized. And then I'm gonna have, if you applied and you are here, I would love you to come introduce yourselves to us so we can put a face with your letters. Don't everybody run up here at once.
I'm Amanda Martell, and I live at 51 Holly Lane here in Paola.
Thank you.
And you have my letter.
Thank you, Amanda.
Joshua Brown, I live at 602 East Miami.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Donnie Jones, I live at 709 East Glory Street.
Thank you.
Will Strowman, live at 606 East Ottawa.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all for your interest and for being here. Does council need a few minutes to look over your letters again, or is everybody good? Good. Any questions on anything? Everything?
I appreciate everybody.
Okay, if there are no questions, does anyone have a nomination?
Do we understand the math?
2-1.
Well,
Majority,
there's 4, but there's a vacancy, so
Yes.
there's only 3 that get to vote, so majority would be 2. Pretty simple. But I just want to make sure before anything,
Well-
oh, we didn't understand
it's
that.
good that you said that, because
Right.
normally, if someone's just gone, it still takes 3 votes. But since there's actually a vacancy, right?
There's a vacancy, and this says majority, that's,
Okay,
if you want my opinion,
majority of remaining council
that's what it
members.
says.
Okay.
You got, somebody years ago made those rules, so that's what we've got to follow.
Yeah. This is the way we've done it, at least since I've
Yeah.
been here, so,
But that's why I wanted to do the
Yeah.
math,
yes,
even though it seems so simple,
yes,
so.
Okay.
See who gets nominated.
yeah. Okay, anybody?
So we just nominate?
Mhm.
I would like to nominate Joshua Brown.
I second that.
McMahon,
Aye.
Hayes,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
All right. Welcome aboard. Thank you all so much for your interest. It is greatly appreciated.
Gonna apply for the job again in about 4 months.
stand up to the podium and have you take your vote. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. You can make me in 5, yep. Okay, I state your name,
I, Joshua Brown,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and the Constitution of the State of Kansas,
and faithfully discharge the duties of Ward 3 council member.
faithfully discharge the duties of Ward 3 council.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Sign.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
You bet.
You know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. All right, new business. Emergency Response Plan Annual Review, Resolution 2024-008.
Yes, so in 2019, the city council adopted an emergency response plan and emergency water supply as part of the city's ongoing compliance with Kansas Department of Health and Environment. The plans must be updated and reviewed on an annual basis. So there's nothing really to update except for personnel and contacts. So that has been done. So we weren't given the whole book because that's the only thing that needed updated. Yeah, so we every year need to approve the resolution to be compliant with that plan.
I'll make a motion, to approve resolution 2024-008, City of Paola Water System Emergency Response Plan, and authorize the necessary signatures. Madam Mayor?
I'll second.
McMahon. Hayes. Brown.
Aye.
Shields.
You have to learn it. It's always hard whenever there's a new name in the mix. All right. Housing incentive program. This is a great program. I don't know how long we've done it, but been very successful, I think.
Yeah, so ordinance 3214 covers the housing incentive program of last year. It was adopted September 12th, 2023, and it is set to expire September 30th, 2024. Program was utilized to construct 14 new homes in the last year. Staff's proposing adoption of ordinance 3225, which would be renewing the new housing construction incentive program with no changes. The proposed renewal outlines projects that are eligible for the permit and plan review reduction on the sliding scale based on construction value. The homes in between $100,000 and $210,000 would receive a reduction of 65% on the building permit and plan review fees. $210,001 to $299,999 is 55% reduction in both building permit and plan review fee. And then homes valued above 300,000 would be 45% of both plan review and building permit fees. The renewal also allows for developers constructing new single-family homes constructed in the infill lots to be eligible for the following reduction of permit, plan review, water, and sewer connection fees. So for infill, they would get a 65% reduction on building permit and plan review, and then a 45% reduction on sewer connection fees and 45% on water connection fees.
And that part's mainly because the infrastructure is already there, is that right?
For the most part, yeah, and
To help promote and encourage.
yeah, and a couple of these infill lots actually have existing there, so they save even more, they get that waived every now and again.
And like Mitch said at the work session last week, sometimes this is pushes a developer to make the decision to build, so
Yeah.
it's a good program. Any questions or comments on it? If not, is there a motion?
I move to adopt ordinance number 3225, renewing the new housing construction incentive program.
Second that motion.
McMahon.
Aye.
Hayes. Brown. Shields.
Aye.
Motion passed. I'm also glad that we don't count that anymore. Use the cap of it too. All right. Next, the tiny home site plan at my father's house, is 1004 North Pearl Street.
So at the August 20th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting, commissioners voted unanimously to recommend approval of the preliminary site plan for phase 1 of the tiny home cluster at 1004 North Pearl Street. Site plan was completed by Horn and Engineering and Environmental. Plans were reviewed by staff as well as Wilson and Company with minimal comments. Commissioner McLean requested site plan be sent out for fire review, and all fire review comments will be met for the final site plan approval. But for zoning, the minimum required site area is 1.5 acres. In this case, it's 8.93. Setbacks required are 15 foot for street and 8 foot for rear yard. And they have around 630 street yard and 200 feet rear yard setback. They have plenty of room for setback. For a buffer yard, a 6 foot 100% opaque fence is required, and they're proposing a 6 foot wooden privacy fence. Required parking is 45 spaces for the current number of houses in phase 1, and provided is 25 in the circle and around 50 in the existing parking lot. For parking surface type, required parking surface is to be of an acceptable all-weather surface such as asphalt, concrete, or graded and compacted gravel or other stabilized system. And their proposed parking is asphalt in all of their new build, and currently we have gravel in the parking lot, which for phase two, are planning on asphalting that as well. Staff's recommendation is the approval of the preliminary site plan for phase one of the tiny home cluster.
So this is just the preliminary plan.
Correct, so there will still be the final
Another
site
one.
plan that will go through planning commission as well.
Okay. Anybody have questions, comments?
Just really excited to see this start taking shape. Excited.
And they are going to do the fire review.
Correct, yes, before the final site plan is brought to planning commission, that will all be taken care of.
Because I personally think that they need to have an egress and ingress roads around the building to the back. And right now, it's just showing one entrance.
Yep, and that'll be covered in the fire review.
Okay.
The fire code covers that ingress and egress.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion?
I'd like to approve the preliminary site plan for phase one of the tiny home cluster at 1004 North Pearl Street.
I'll second that motion.
Mann,
Aye.
Hayes, Brown,
Aye.
Shields,
Aye.
Motion passed. All right. We have so much tonight.
Yes.
We'll move, what if it's because somebody's getting ready to leave? Temporarily. All right, the plat for the JD condominium final plat.
So this is at 1102 Durham Drive, and JR, after study session, I've included the GIS overview so you can get a reference. So at the August 20th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting, commissioners unanimously voted to recommend approval of the final plat of the JD condominiums located at 1102 Durham Drive. These units are currently apartments, and the applicant would like to plat them as condominiums to offer affordable homeownership options to current and future residents. The JD Condominium Association will maintain the common areas, and Aspen Grove Durham will initially own condos until they are sold. Aspen Grove Durham intends to honor all existing leases after the platting process is completed. Plat was reviewed by Public Works Director and staff, and all review comments have been satisfied. Staff has found that the application is consistent with section 21-620 of the LDO and will not be detrimental to the health, safety, or general welfare of the community. Staff's recommendation is the approval of the condominiums.
Hey, Mitch, I got a question. Yep. Quick on it. We probably don't got a dog in the fight, but it appears to me that we're gonna go with a condo, which means have, and I hate to use the word HOA, but they're gonna be the mowing, the street that's in there is gonna be underneath the auspice of I can't remember what moniker they put on it.
The JD Condominium Association.
Yeah. Does the city have any purview, any dog in that fight, or is that just a private deal over there by itself and you all handle it?
That's, yeah, they're just like an HOA, they're kind of under their own.
Okay.
As far as their rules and
So
regulations.
they draw up their own covenants and everything?
Correct, yes, they've sent me all of their own covenants and everything as required by the LPO.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions on it? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the final plat of JD condominiums at 1102 Durham Drive.
I'll second.
McMahon.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Motion pass. All right, new drinking establishment license for Sonora Tacos. It's been a long time coming.
Yes, so Juan did get all of the application, the fee and the state license all submitted. I have everything to move forward with the drinking establishment license. And this will take over the CMB license. So he won't be renewing that. It'll just be under the liquor license.
Okay,
Gonna be in first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, anybody, any comments on that? Okay, is there a motion?
I move to approve the drinking establishment license for Sonora Tacos LLC, 1011 Baptiste Drive.
Second.
McMahon.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Shields.
Aye.
Motion passed. All right, Wallace Park upgrade discussion.
Yes, so this is
Pretty brief.
Yeah, more of
What it looks like.
a debriefing than a discussion. So as we discussed at work study, my intention was to apply for a grant for our proposed, improvements we had down there from an engineer estimate, but while the engineer was giving me the topographical and we're going through everything, there is an overhead power line that they needed me to certify would get buried, and I obviously cannot do that. As well as everything within the project boundary and within 6 feet outside the project boundary had to meet ADA requirements. So we just weren't ready to tackle those at this moment in time, so we're gonna put that on the back burner. On the plus side, I want to be sure this doesn't turn into a sales tax discussion, but in order to show that we have the money, we printed off the projects we have for the sales tax. So if you want to take one of those and we pass into the council. So on the sheet we're gonna give you, this is just the sales tax projects. This is not the entire sales tax. I want to make that clear. But this is at the top, the anticipated expenses were the proposed amount that the city council passed in the resolution. And then we had the current actual expenses is what has been spent for those projects that we have outlined in the resolution. So as we talked about the dam coming up and how it was going to be more than we thought, the bottom half of the page is the proposed solutions for the dam. So we're proposing taking a little from Wallace Park. We would still have, if you look, the remaining balance is right under 800,000. That is still enough to do all the proposed amenities improvements that we were wanting to do with the grant, without the grant. So if we do want to move forward with that when I get back, or if you guys want to do it while I'm gone, that's fine too, but we can still have those discussions. We can still move forward on whatever timeline the council is comfortable with. So I just wanted to make sure that although we won't be able to apply for that grant, we still have a cushion and we still have a project that we can move forward with if council would like to pursue that as I get back.
So other than the dam, pretty well, we're good pausing on everything until after you're back.
Yes, we're getting there. We're getting all those lined out. Wallace Park obviously is good for now, and dam, Kurt honestly is taking lead on that. We have a pre-construction meeting set for the 25th or 24th. 24th, hopefully I'm here. But if not, Stephanie and Kirk are more than capable of taking those, so. Yes.
Okay. Does this current actual expenses on the pool include the interest to be paid over the 15 years? Does that include the interest payments?
What interest? I don't know what interest.
Well, you have to pay interest on your bond or on the loan.
Oh, no, these
No,
are
this-
just the projects. The bond money is in a separate.
Cause you can't do
This, yeah, this is just a sales tax. This is not the bond.
Okay, but there will be interest to be paid.
Yeah,
on
we
that.
have that set aside.
That is not included in this. That is already set aside for that, I guess. I'm trying to say, I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I was on an
Yes.
interest payment.
Yes, we already have that allocated out. Does
Okay.
that help? There we go. Not part of this discussion. Okay, so, but that was
Thank you for
my
that.
gist of it. Yes, so, yes.
One thing, Randy, when you get back, I'd like to dwell a little bit into the light situation. I'm not saying yay or nay, pro or con. I just want to get a little bit better understanding of the, because when we're going forward, we're gonna look at not having the lights down there. So I'm not pro or con against it. I just need to understand a little bit more when you get back.
And last week, he's mentioned that you can reapply for this grant
Every year,
annually.
yes.
So we're not applying this year.
So we'll be able to maybe have an idea next year to be able to reapply or apply.
Or look at a different project.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you guys want, that's a discussion we can have. If you want to reapply for next year, you can. It can be it's a very broad project scope. So we can do
Good.
many other things to make up for this, if that makes you feel better. Okay, yes.
Yeah, but it just, I mean, we gotta back up and do a few things.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure we get everything done, yeah.
You don't wanna force it.
No,
No.
you don't want to. Very line.
Can you give me an idea how much the engineering costs for Wilson and Son was?
9,000.
All right, that's good. Staff reports. Eric, you have something? Nothing? Lee?
Good ask.
You never answered.
I'm just happy to be here. Everything's fine in city court, as far as I know, there's no other litigation, so, great.
Kirk? Nothing? Okay. Mitch?
We're up to 300 permits for the year. Lake Mary and Taylor Forge Learning Centers, finals with fire should be tomorrow morning. They should all be ready, so we'll see. They normally have some punch list items, but getting there. For dangerous structures update, 209 North Pearl. I just talked to him a couple days ago because I hadn't seen any progress on the outside of the house. He said as of the last week, he's been clearing everything that's stored inside the house out to make room for bracing walls and all the work he has to do. So he did consult with an engineer and gave me an engineer's report on it, along with prescribed faces and got a permit and everything. So, 610 East Kaskaskia, the barn, they got it all cleaned out. Right now, she's working to find out if she's allowed to give someone permission to tear it down or if the mortgage company has to, so just wait to hear from that. I tried talking to them and I couldn't get anywhere with them, so she's going to.
Is there a mortgage on the?
Probably the whole property.
Just, yeah, the whole property, yeah. She just wants to make sure that because there is mortgage on it, that she's able to make those decisions and they don't need to pay anything.
Makes sense.
And the next one, I'm going to start on, getting in contact with the owner of this 9 East Chippewa. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it.
What's this address?
9 East Chippewa,
Yeah. I never turned on.
it's at the corner of Daggett and Chippewa. Got a hole in the roof.
The one that's collapsing?
Yes.
Yes.
The owners of it also own 2 houses down, that just got redone. Their plan a year ago, whenever they started that, was to start this as soon as we got done with it. Haven't seen any progress, so I'm gonna reach out and try to get that started. Next planning commission meeting. We're gonna discuss, LDO text amendment, to include chicken and bee regulations.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
So,
Oh my
it's gonna be
goodness.
interesting.
The next meeting.
What was that?
Chickens and bees.
Chicken and bee
Chickens
regulations.
and bees.
See why we need police officers?
They're already here.
That's all I got.
Chicken and
Oh.
what?
Bees, you know,
Bees.
you know.
Oh, my goodness.
Fried chicken.
I can't wait.
Like-
Yeah.
You gotta.
You can have that chicken.
My wife thanks you.
Oh, that's why you're not excited.
Randy?
I just have that we have, I'll send it out in the Friday update, but everyone's been invited to the Lake Mary grand opening. Hopefully everything goes well, for their new residential facility and treatment facility. It's at September 18th from 9 AM to 11 AM. But like I said, I'll send it out to everyone on Friday.
We know everything's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all good.
Yeah, building wise, they passed driver's inspection, they were just waiting on the
It's
final.
always the fire.
Yep.
This situation's better than,
My previous experience.
yeah. You should be able to go.
Not with the. Okay.
Hopefully you get to go too.
I hope not.
All right. Is that it, Randy?
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay. Stephanie?
I just have the chamber annual dinner details are out. That will be on Thursday, October 17th. From 5:30 to 8:30. It will be at Town Square. And I will send out an email to ask for a head count so we can get tickets ordered.
Word on the street is they're serving breakfast for dinner.
Yes, it's a new day, I believe.
Yes,
it's
they're serving
18.
Breakfast for dinner.
We love breakfast.
Yeah. So,
Biscuits and gravy.
you can call April and give her your request. All right. JR.
Congratulations, Josh. On, you did an excellent job writing the letter and really look forward to working, all the council and the mayor, and really look forward to working with you. I went to the K-68 and kind of represented Paola. It's kind of the same project in the last 10 years. Kind of, update on it. Probably they're gonna get moving again on it late next year. So, county's already paid their part of it, so it's all ready to go. Back up a little bit, I see we had Infinity in here, I believe it is Comcast. Do we got two cable companies working in this? Three? I got.
Comcast, Quick Com, and Mocan,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. And then you got I've seen you write down there, Mitch, for Pat and his trash, well, yeah, it's back in there, okay. And, that's all I had.
Debbie?
Can't say a whole lot, but thank you again, Paola Police Department. Feel like I've always got something, but, someone really close to me was given a ride to the hospital the other night at 1:20 in the morning while they were out walking to get there, and I'm thankful that the Paola Police Department saw this person and gave them a ride, and no one else did, because it wouldn't have ended well. Probably had someone else, because the way she was communicating, it would have been difficult to understand, so, just, we need these guys, so I appreciate that a lot.
I know you're brand new, but do you have anything?
I would like to say thank you all for giving me the opportunity to do this, and all my interactions with the city, especially Lee, have been fabulous, so.
That's saying something.
I was-
There's always one. The rest of us should be a breeze then.
Yes, I appreciate the opportunity, and I think that the staff has been always so wonderful to work with, and the projects that I've done, and that was a big part for me to become interested in it, and please feel free to correct me or guide me as I learn the ropes, but thank you.
Yeah.
And wait a second, just if I can, I thought it would come up, but it didn't come up, but Josh contacted me, and maybe you all know this, or maybe it was in your letter, but I mean, he holds a position with the county, planning.
Right.
And so he reached out to me about a possible conflict, and I, well, yeah, it's possible. But we talked about recusal, and he understands that. It's voluntary, you can't make him, but I mean, if he would vote against the county, they'd probably take some sort of action. And if he votes against the city, he'll probably lose the next election. I mean, it'll take care of itself. But I just wanted you all to know that I thought a lot of him to ask about, reveal that he was even thinking about the conflict. But we don't have any extraterritorial zoning stuff right now that any of us know about, but something might come up. And I don't want you all saying, well, you never told us that and all that sort of stuff. I'm telling you. I think he already did too, so.
I'm
Just
I'm
want to
happy
put it
to
here.
recuse myself on either side if there's ever a conflict.
Yes.
Liam?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Just glad the position's filled.
You were getting lonely over there.
So.
All right. Welcome. I think that I was glad because there's people I knew that applied and people I don't know you at all. And your perspective, I think, is gonna be unique and good for us. So welcome aboard. This is a good group of people that you work with, so. All right, that's all I have.
Update on the murals.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I think I was so overwhelmed with everything else that we had going on. I forgot about the most fun thing. So if you guys haven't been downtown to look at the mural, so it's on Rusty Walters building in the alley,
11 South Pearl.
11 South Pearl. And I was going to check on it, cause I met with her Sunday night and she projected it and we made sure it was all in the right spot and everything and. Yesterday afternoon, I went up to check on her and I was at the stoplight on Silver in Peoria. And I could see it already and it was only barely the background. I'm like, it's amazing already. It looks so good. It really looks good. And it's been fun to see what she's gotten done every day. And she has a helper today and tomorrow, but she thinks she'll be finished up Thursday, so.
That's work 3, isn't it?
I feel like the council needs to be the first people to get their picture in front of it.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
whenever we get done, it's just brightened up a whole alley and.
I may or may not have tried to get my walk timber steps in today and been there a couple of times to visit with her to look
Yeah,
at.
she's
So
very,
it's really fun.
she's
to
been
work.
great to work with. She has family in Osawatomie, which I didn't know that before. Her grandma's in Osawatomie, so. And she had only been to El Potro here. So I mean, it was a good experience, but she's completely mesmerized by the square and loves working with the fountain in the background. And so I think it's been a pretty therapeutic assignment for her.
We
So.
want her to come back, so that's good.
Yes, yes. So stop by and see her and see the mural. It looks really, really good already. So. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Of course. You put a lot of work into that, you deserve it.
That's all I have. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Yours, Josh.
Yeah.
Go for it. Make a motion to adjourn.
Aye.
Case, Brown.
First official meeting.
Meeting adjourned.
Are you?